Welcome. Come meet our Labradors. And this is Madison. Madison is 6 years old. She's a yellow Labrador retriever, and she plays the part of Vincent on Lost. This is actually Madison's first role in film or television. We auditioned with JJ in March of 2004, and he chose Madison at that audition to play the part of Vincent.
Anytime you see a dog, your heart goes out, you just feel there's an emotional tug. And the reality is Vincent's the second character we're introduced to in the show. Jack wakes up in the jungle and he hears a noise, and then the dog comes bounding out, and they sort of have this little moment together before the dog goes running off again.
And as you can see, she's a tennis ball enthusiast.
She's great. She's tennis ball nuts. It's the way she's trained. But you can take the tennis ball, you want the dog to look anywhere, just move the tennis ball, the dog follows it.
One episode in particular where I had to use a lot of tennis ball action were the few scenes that she was in the pilot. When Jack, Kate, and Charlie were trekking through the jungle to find the cockpit, and Vincent was sitting atop the hill watching the three of them walk through the valley. I was using tennis balls there as well, and that was simply just to get her to focus in one direction and then move her head back and forth like the director wanted.
As much as Vincent is important on screen, Vincent is really important off screen, just for everybody to get their dog fix. You know, I mean, just to have the dog come around, be able to pet it, and just people calm down when the dog's around.
Madison ended up having a really great relationship with Malcolm David Kelly, who plays the part of Walt. I could tell when we began production on the pilot that Malcolm wasn't all that comfortable with Madison, so I suggested that he spend time alone with her, and they actually developed a really great bond.
Wonderful dog. I like the dog. She's a great actor. Well, yeah, she's a great actor, and I'm comfortable working with her now than I was on the pilot because I was scared of her. I have a little fear of dogs. I have to get to know them.
And over the course of season 1, we got to the point where, you know, I could hand Malcolm the leash and he would know exactly what he needed to do with Madison. So their relationship is really great. Definitely the biggest highlight was filming the season finale from season 1, where we got to do the raft launch and Vincent swam after the raft to go after his boy Walt.
In season 1, we did not write that Vincent goes swimming out after the raft. You know, if I had put that on paper, I would have probably caused coronaries in Hawaii. But on the day, Jack Bender, who was directing that scene, thought, hey, what if the dog went and swam after them? What is the reality of getting it to do that? Can the dog swim? And then we got the dailies. Jack just did it, and it was like probably one of the most emotional moments that had ever been on Lost. And we, the writers, can take no credit for it.
Go back, Vincent! Vincent! Go back! Go back!
I said to our trainer, does Madison like to swim? Don't tell me Madison is the only lab in the history of the universe who doesn't like the water. And she said, no, he'll go in. So I said, great. She said, as long as I'm on the raft. So I said, okay. So we put her on the raft, and Madison swam out, and then there's that wonderful moment where Maggie Grace runs up, pulls Madison back, and I said, great.
Another highlight was actually a scene that got cut from the episode Solitary from season 1. There was a scene where the castaways were at the cave, and Shannon walked into the cave to find Vincent drinking from the stream.
Ew, get him out of there!
What?
The dog, Webster. He's in our drinking water.
Hey! Don't yell at my kid. What is your problem?
What is my problem?
Yeah!
I walked all the way from the beach just to get something to drink, and your animal is drooling in our water supply.
So Shannon started freaking out in the scene about the dog drinking from their water supply and having this big, huge hissy fit, and then at the end of the scene, Vincent actually jumped into the stream. So it was actually a lot of fun to shoot, and it was a really funny scene to watch being shot, but it ended up being cut from the episode when it aired on television.
You know, a dog's mouth's actually cleaner than a human's.
Nobody asked you.
So many people ask me when Vincent is going to get his own flashback episode. Of course, they add their funny little anecdotes in there about potentially what could be filmed and what Vincent could be doing in his flashback episode.
We had a design to do a cool flashback for Vincent that would have fit very well with this season 1 finale, which was sort of Vincent's experience at the airport. But we didn't do it because it got spoiled. And when stuff gets out into the, press before we even shoot it, I tend to say, you know what, unless it's integral to the mythological storytelling we're doing, we'll cut bait on it. And contrary to popular belief, people think that it was like Vincent saw something crazy in the cargo hold of the plane, as opposed to it was just a gag that we were going to do.
But one thing I do think is pretty funny is Naveen Andrews has told me on more than one occasion that he thinks the series finale of this show is going to feature Vincent sitting on the beach with the rescue plane coming in to rescue him, and all of the survivors' graves are going to be in the background, and Vincent is going to end up being the only survivor. So I think that's pretty funny. I like that one.